Hey there, and welcome back into the Bulldog Blitz. I'm Mark Minner, and I have the pleasure to be joined by our panel. We have Matt Vacklin, sports editor for the Collegian, and replacing Eric Brown this week is Stephen Peak, the sports editor for Dognet. So, guys, thanks for joining me. This is the first show we're not starting off with basketball, and instead we're going to talk a little about softball. It's been a tough season for them non-conference. They played some really tough teams. They went to Florida and Texas, but they got a 5-game winning streak, and they just came off a sweep against Detroit. Their season's looking good.
Yeah, their season looking good. The schedule's eased up. They're getting into conference play. And what you've really seen in these last 5 games is their pitching is taken over. Brianna Fisher, a freshman, and Lauren Ott, a sophomore, have really just taken this team. And, Brianna Fisher had 3 wins in this 5-game win streak, 2 of them complete games. They say pitching wins championships. That's why they're playing better.
Yeah, and the team element's definitely there, you can tell. In the Horizon League, you can just kind of settle in and, dig in for that ride that it's going to take. There's 2 halves of the season, and they're in the one that they feel really matters, and they're all coming together. It's really exciting to watch.
And we talked about baseball last week. They've been struggling a pretty bad season so far. 2-4 though in league play. They're starting to turn it around. They got the win against Wright State. It's been tough. They've been down so far this season. How have they managed to kind of keep a level head and try and turn around the season?
Well, they really said last week when they got that win, it turned things around. And you saw some signs this week. A big come-from-behind win against IPFW. They were losing 6-0. They come back and win 7-6 in their final at bat. And then what I thought, they lost 2 out of 3 at Wright State, but they won the second game of the doubleheader after getting beat 7-0. They're starting to get some clutch hitting, and I just think it's a good sign that they still show some fight, and maybe they can salvage this season.
Yeah, Luke Duncan's really been carrying the load right now, and I think consistency is going to come when others get those clutch hits and clutch defensive plays. And I think, mixing up the lineup here and there, not really relying all on one person is really going to help that out, and the signs are there.
Steve, it's not too early to start talking about fall sports because we had a great year this past year, and they're still looking to improve on that. Football team, their best season in over a decade. Head coach Jeff Vorse in his 4th season has really turned around this program, and they're looking for another great season.
Yeah, 16 and 22 returning starters is a great thing to have as a coach and as a team as well. I know a lot of the players have been really excited about getting the offense back out there. That's always been very highly productive, and this year the defense has a lot of veterans coming back. League defensive sack leaders coming back, a redshirt freshman, Mr. Hunter, and it's just really exciting to see them increase their win total every year and get better and better.
Yeah, most of the position players they lose are on the defensive side of the ball, so that'll be something to look at. But they return just about everyone on offense. Matt Cobley and Dan Boerhead, they seem to be on the same page all the time last year. They return. They have all their running backs back. They do lose Jordan Quiros, their kicker, which could hurt them because kickers in close games can pay dividends. But I look for the success to continue. They have a lot of people back. It's fun to watch them try to build on what they've established.
Another team that had a great season was men's soccer this year. They were even nationally ranked for a brief period, but they're going to lose key seniors, Frank Bottano, who was just a scoring machine out there. They still have some quality youngsters, though. Can they get back and try and repeat?
I think it's going to be an interesting season for them. They also lose Eduardo Garcia. Basically, they lose their 2 top scorers. But I think it's an important season because I like to look at when a team has success, how do they bounce back afterwards? I know they're high on their recruiting class. They still have some great players returning like Kyle Pateros. He had a good season last year. I think they can, if they're recruiting well, they can continue it. And I look forward to looking and seeing what will happen this season.
Yeah, the team has a competitive culture, and they're bringing in new recruits. I think 6 or 7, and they're looking to score. The 2 people who tied for 3rd in scoring are returning, just falling behind those 2 senior people, and they're looking to step up, make 1 and 2 on that list.
Both soccer teams have done real well this past season. I know the women didn't finish as highly as they would like to have, but Coach St. John really has them moving in the right direction. They're very happy with their recruiting class, and they're looking for another great season as well.
Yeah, 8-8, I think, kind of going back their last few games there. They really kind of weeble-wobbled at the end, but they made a great surge in the Horizon League Championship.
Stephen, you were a student assistant with the volleyball team here at Butler. You worked very closely with them. They lost their assistant coach, so I know they haven't filled that spot yet. What do you think this team's going to look like next year?
Yeah, well, first of all, losing Karen Weatherington is a big loss for the team. She was a real firm kind of rock in that staff and for that team overall. But looking to replace her with someone equally as qualified, and just as equally as qualified on the court of the girls. Losing 1 starter, the rest are going to be back. Dana DePrilli is a big loss, but the girls are always very competitive, working very hard this spring.
It wouldn't be Bulldog Blitz if we didn't talk about basketball. We have to look way into the future. The men's team is returning all of their players. Things look good for them. I don't think they'll be picked to finish 5th in the Horizon League this year. What can we expect from them next year?
I expect that they have a schedule next year that's really going to be tough on them. It's gonna bring the best out in them, and if they can survive that schedule, there's no doubt in my mind that they can get through Horizon League play. But what I look for is, or my expectation for next season is seed-wise. I would like to see a high seed from this team. Their schedule suggests that if they can get through it, you could see a 2 or a 3 seed, which would be unheard of for a program like Butler. But I really think if you're looking to take the next step, that's what the program needs to do.
Yes, definitely. Unfortunately, the first-round loss this year didn't help the seeding as much as it could have if we had won that game. However, returning everyone, it certainly doesn't hurt. And adding someone, a 6'10 freshman coming in, whether or not they redshirt him or not, is still to be determined. But even if he does come in, that just gives everyone else more freedom to find jump shots, let Matt Howard use his mid-range jump shot and whatnot. So, it's definitely exciting, and I know that the guys, they're not going to take this opportunity for granted.
And the women's basketball team, they lose seniors like Candace Jones, Ladea Conde, but they still have great players like Susan Lester, and they've got a couple more recruits. Obviously, they had a great year this year, and Beth Kuchar has really turned around that program. Can she do it again, and can they expand on their trip to the WNIT?
Every year in her tenure, they've gotten incrementally better. I don't see a reason why they can't. They obviously have some key people. Ladea Conde is going to be a very tough loss, but history says Beth Kuchar's building something nice here. I see them contending for the league title next year. I really do.
Yeah, they're building a culture there, much like we've come to see with the men's program. It's not just a bunch of losses. It's people filling in, stepping in, and replacing what's graduated and what's left. So, and what a year Susan Lester's had, no reason she shouldn't have it again next year. No pressure on her, of course.
Well, we'll see if they can even get past Green Bay, though. They're a pretty tough team.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, thank you guys very much. Matt, we thank you all season long for being a part of the show, and you're a senior, so you'll be graduating, going on to bigger, better places.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks for filling in again, Steve.
It's great being here.
All right, we'll be back with more of the Bulldog Blitz right after the break. Stay with us. Earlier this season, we had reported on the Jukes Foundation for Kids. Well, since then, the foundation, started by Butler men's basketball forward Avery Jukes, has continued to grow. This past week, Avery announced that the foundation will be having the Champions for Children Gala on April 17th. It's a gala that is open up to the whole family to raise money for the foundation and will feature guest speakers Dr. Bobby Fong and Coach Brad Stevens. For more information, including ticket prices, just log on to jukesfoundationforkids.org. Butler fans can enjoy some great league games this weekend. On Friday, the men's tennis team will take on a tough UIC team at 3 p.m. in the Butler Bubble. Then at 1 p.m. on Saturday, the softball team will take on the Vikings of Cleveland State in the front end of a doubleheader. Also at 1 p.m., the women's tennis team will take on the UIC Flames. Wrapping things up on Sunday, the softball team finishes up their 3-game series with CSU that gets underway at noon. That will just about do it for this week's episode of The Blitz, and for that matter, this season of The Blitz. I want to thank all you for watching us this year and hope you have a great summer. We'll be back with a brand new season next fall, so make sure to watch out for new episodes. Until then, I'm Mark Minner. We'll see you right back here on the Bulldog Blitz.